Okay, in this video, I'm going to be predicting UFC Fight Night, Derek Lewis versus Teixeira, the main card only. I'm not dilly-dallying with the prelims at all. Overall, I think the main card is actually pretty good. There's a lot to be pessimistic about in the UFC in general. Ilia Topuria's knockout over Charles Oliveira has re-alived my spirit. I'm a fucking UFC fan, goddammit. And this card, overall, is pretty good. I'm not going to be pessimistic about it. Derek Lewis versus Talon Teixeira is a boof-ass main event. It's goofy. Derek Lewis shouldn't be main eventing a card in 2025. Talon Teixeira is in his second fight in the UFC. Definitely shouldn't be main eventing a card in 2025. But it's probably going to be fun as fuck. It's probably going to be a knockout. I'm all for that. The rest of the card is kind of studded with names. I'm excited. And we're going to be predicting the main card, starting with Junior Tafa versus Toko Tokos. I've thought about this fight a lot. I think Junior Tafa has the finishing potential. He has the youth. He has the ability to improve as a fighter. He's had some iffy fights in the past, some short notice shit. His leg got chewed up in a short notice fight. He's gotten out grappled and submitted. He was really salty about that loss to Walter Walker, where he got leg locked. I think that's a baby shit. I don't like that a lot. I do think both Tafa brothers have a lot of power. And Tukotokos honestly is impressive to me that he went to a decision with Navajo Sterling. But at the same time, he kind of got beat the fuck up in that fight against Navajo Sterling. You can go to a decision against him, and you didn't get knocked out. That is impressive. But Tuko likes to go into these battles a little bit, and Junior Tafa has some power. He's coming off a knockout win. I can't pick Tuko Tokos at this point in his career at old age, in his age, to win a fight against Junior Tafa by decision at this point. I think Tafa's coming into this fight prepared. He's coming to this fight young and willing to improve. I think he's going to put Tuko Tokos away at this point in his career. Maybe if it was a year or two ago, or even right after the Navajo Sterling fight, I would have said, okay, Tuco can get a decision win out of Junior Tafa. I just don't think so. The more I think about it, the more I see Junior just knocking him out. Tuco is not reliable. He had a good fight against Navajo Sterling, but honestly, I didn't see that as a huge win for Tuco. The more I felt about, the more like I dwelled on that fight, the more I thought of it as a big loss for Navajo Sterling in terms of aura. You put out Tacos in this point in his career. He's gritty. He's going to go for it. I think if he gets into a firefight against Tafa, I think he gets put the fuck out. Tafa's not that good, but neither is Toko Tokos. They're both 50-50 in their career. One's 6-3, one's 10-5. A little bit more like experience in Tuco's fight game, I guess, but Junior Tafa at the same time is way younger, has way more time to improve, and I'm going to trust the power of Tafa over the boring decisionness of Tacos. So I'm going to go with Junior Tafa. Very hard to predict. Wouldn't be surprised if Tacos squeaks out a decision, but I'm going to go with the finishing potential, and that's probably what I'm going to go with the rest of the card as well, is finishing potential. Next. So second round knockout, third round knockout for just Junior Tafa. Next, Vitor Petrino versus Austin Lane. Same kind of deal. Austin Lane is probably a little bit of a better technical fighter. He probably has a little bit better grappling in general. I mean, Vitor Petrino got fucking submitted by a guillotine by Anthony Smith. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed by any means, but what Vitor has is a ton of fucking power, and what Austin Lane has is a shit fucking chin. I'm going to go with Vitor Petrino to win by knockout in this fight. Austin Lane, believe it or not, isn't Anthony Smith in there. He's not going to submit Vitor Petrino, I don't think. If I'm Vitor Petrino, I'm going to be only drilling grappling since that Anthony Smith fight in general. He got put the fuck out by Justin Jacoby in his last fight, but at the same time, Austin Lane isn't the dynamic striker that Justin Jacoby is. It's hard to predict. Austin Lane has some power as well. I just really trust in Vitor Petrino's power and his physicality a lot more than Austin Lane. I know Lane is solid, and he beat Robelas to Spain, but he beat him by grapple fucking him, and Robelas to Spain literally has no takedown defense whatsoever. He's ass on the ground. So I'm going to go with Vitor Petrino to win. He's going to stuff the takedowns. He's a lot stronger. Then Austin Lane, I would think, even though I'm pretty sure Lane's like a former NFL player, so that might be a bad take. But I just see Vitor Petrino landing the better shots and putting Austin Lane out cold. Maybe this is another fraud check for Petrino, the fucking fifth one in a row. But Austin Lane's he's had his ups and downs, his wins and losses, has been out fucking cold too many times for me to be confident in Austin Lane at this point in his career. I'm going to go with Vitor Petrino to win by knockout. I think he's going to have improved in the grappling. And in the striking department, I think Vitor Vitrino has the edge a little bit. So I'm going to go with Petrino to win by knockout in the first or second round against Austin Lane. A little bit sketchy, a little bit hard to predict because they're both ass, and it really is completely unpredictable when they're so ass. But especially at these heavier weight classes. Shit, Vitor Petrino's going up to heavyweight. Ugh. Whatever. Heavyweight's easier than light heavyweight anyway. I'm going to go with Vitor Petrino. Lighter man skill. Fuck it. To win this fight by knockout. Next. Nate Landwehr versus Morgan Charrier. We all love Nate Landwehr. We all think he's Nate the Train for a reason. He goes in and he fucking throws like a madman. I just honestly think Morgan Charrier is a little bit more technical. He's coming off a loss against... Fuck, what is his name? I'm picturing him... Shit, dude. I'm picturing him in my head so clearly. Fuck! Morgan Charrier is coming off of a loss against someone that's actually fucking good. He's almost ranked. I think he might be ranked now. He came off a loss against... He lost by robbery to fucking Muhammad Naimov. Nathaniel Wood. Yes! All right. He's coming off a loss to Nathaniel Wood. I don't think that's a bad loss whatsoever. I think Nathaniel Wood's really fucking good. He deserves a ranked position. Nathaniel Wood's solid. He got robbed by Muhammad Naimov, completely cheater. Muhammad Naimov's a complete cheater. Nathaniel Wood got robbed. And he beat Morgan Charrier clearly. Clearly beat him. Morgan is dangerous. He has very good striking, decent grappling defense. And Nate Landwehr is coming off of a devastating loss against Doo Ho Choi where he got beat the fuck up. I don't trust Nate Landwehr to win this fight against Morgan Charrier, where it's going to be a striking battle. Nate Landwehr is going to get crazy. Morgan Charrier is good at countering and finding crisp shots. He's good at it. He's good at landing crisp shit on the inside and getting out and being in a brawl, but being calculated in the brawling setting. Nate Landwehr is very good at that as well, but he's more of a brawler. He's more IQ out the window. I'm going to throw like a fucking retard, pretty much. And it really didn't work against Doo Ho Choi. If anybody's going to win in the grappling, I think it's Morgan at this point. If anybody's going to get a little bit more technical and a little bit more efficient on the feet, I think it's Morgan. I'm going to have to go with Morgan Charrier. Sadly, I want Nate Landwehr to win. I think that Nathaniel Wood fight taught Morgan a thing or two about high-level competition, and I don't think Nate Landwehr's in that realm of the Nathaniel Woods. In that realm. I don't think he's there. Morgan Charrier is pretty much there. He lost by decision clearly, but he made it very competitive. I think Morgan's crisp. I think he's clean. I think he has the finishing potential to knock out Nate Landwehr. I think he's going to. I'm going with Morgan Charrier to win this fight in the first or second round by knockout. A lot of knockouts is what I'm going with. I hope Nate wins by knockout, though. Next, Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. Once again, no, you can't really pick knockout, huh? Calvin has a really good chin. But spoiler alert, I'm going with Steve Garcia. I think Steve Garcia is solid as fuck. He has a ton of first-round knockouts in his career. A lot of first-round knockouts leading up to this fight. I think it's 3 or 4 in a row. He has a ton of finishes. He's very good. He's solid. He has a very good chin. He's got that Mexican chin, even though he's not Mexican, I don't think. I think he's from America. Even still, he's got that Mexican chin. He inherited that from his ancestors. He will not get knocked out by Calvin Kattar. I would bet money, a lot of money on that. He's not getting knocked out by Calvin. Nobody gets knocked out by Calvin. Steve Garcia isn't getting knocked out by Calvin. If anybody's getting finished, it's Calvin. I really don't think so, though. I do think Kattar has a good chin. I think it comes down to age. I think Steve Garcia is a lot younger. He has a lot more momentum in his career at this point. He has a ton more finishing potential. and he's tough as fuck. Steve Garcia, he's good at going in there and making it a brawl, a calculated brawl where he can land clean and get out and put on a pressure that works for him in his game. Calvin Kattar is a similar fighter. If anybody's going to win in the grappling, it's Steve Garcia. Calvin Kattar has struggled with that a lot in the past. He's old. He blew his fucking knee out against Arnold Allen. His legs are completely shot. And he's just old. He's old in his career. He's kind of at the very end. He's kind of dwindling out a bit. And Steve Garcia is kind of gaining a lot of momentum and coming into his prime. I can't like honestly pick Calvin Kattar to win against Steve Garcia when Steve Garcia is so solid at this point. And Calvin Kattar hasn't proved to me that he has the longevity to stay in this game against these top level guys, or these guys are going to be gritty and go for it against Calvin Kattar. Steve Garcia is the guy to put a pressure on him. He's going to push a pace. Calvin's going to have to match it, and I don't think he will be able to. I think Steve's going to overwhelm him. I think it will be a decision. You can't finish Calvin Kattar that easily. But I think it will be a decision. A decision? God. A decision for Steve Garcia in this fight. So, Steve Garcia, by decision. He's going to have more output. He's going to be able to outstrike Calvin Kattar. Little to no grappling. If anybody's going to grapple, it's going to be Garcia, and he's going to succeed. He's going to have good low kicks against Calvin's bum knees. I don't like this for Calvin Kattar. Sadly, I like Calvin, but Steve Garcia is just better at this point in his career. Maybe not better, like overall. Maybe he won't have a better career, but at this point, Steve Garcia is the more menacing fighter. Next, decision. Stephen Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfim. What the fuck? Okay, Stephen Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfim. This fight is so sad. I really don't like that this fight is happening. Stephen Thompson should not be getting Gabriel Bonfim in his almost retirement fight. The UFC says they have respect for the veterans until it comes to actually have respect for the veterans and not just give bullshit to John Jones and Dustin Poirier, I guess, for some reason. They really pick and choose who gets the treatment, the veteran treatment among the veterans. This fight shouldn't be happening, especially with a co-main of a fight night. This is stupid as fuck, especially because Gabriel Bonfim doesn't deserve it. But it's hard to say that Gabriel Bonfim is going to lose this fight with his grappling credentials and Stephen Thompson's lack of grappling credentials. And Stephen Thompson's really old. On the feet, Stephen Thompson has the edge, 100%. No matter what age, Stephen Thompson's going to have the edge on the feet. In my opinion, it's just experience. He always has the edge on the feet against every fighter. Gabriel Bonfim is going to be able to out-grapple him. Am I going to pick Stephen Thompson to be able to get out of these positions, get up, and put damage on Gabriel Bonfim? I might. I haven't 100% decided yet. Gabriel Bonfim has been shinned by Nicholas Dalby. There we go. Just click. Nicholas Dalby is a hard hitter. He's like good on the feet. He's a solid fighter. What Nicholas Dalby has is really good takedown defense. If Stephen Thompson can't stop the takedowns, I bet he can beat Gabriel Bonfim up on the feet. I bet you he can. But is he going to be able to? It's really hard to say. Gabriel Bonfim has a good grappling game. He's going to impose it right away. He doesn't want to try Stephen Thompson on the feet. It's hard to pick Stephen Thompson to win this fight. I'm going to have to go with Gabriel Bonfim. I really want to go with Stephen Thompson to win by knockout. I really fucking want him to. I can't trust Stephen Thompson's grappling game at this point. Shit, can I? Joaquin Buckley couldn't take him down. Gabriel Bonfim is not him. Fuck it, who cares? I'm going with Stephen Thompson by knockout. If Stephen Thompson can stuff Joaquin Buckley's takedowns, if he can hold his own against these fighters and make them shoot for a takedown, if he can make Bilal fucking shoot for his life, Gilbert Burns shoot for his life, if he can make these fighters shoot for dear life against him, I think he's going to be able to knock out Gabriel Bonfim. I don't think the Bonfim brothers are that hype, and Gabriel Bonfim especially is the lesser of the two brothers. I think Gabriel's going to try to impose his grappling game plan, which is 100% what he's going to go for. I don't think he's Bilal. I don't think he's Gilbert Burns. He might be better. I don't know. Fuck it. It's hard to say. Gabriel Bonfim is at a point in his career where you can't really tell. But Stephen Thompson is going to knock him. No, this fight sucks. I don't want to predict this fight. This is so stupid. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm going Stephen Thompson by knockout. Gabriel's going to try to impose his grappling. He's probably going to succeed. He's probably going to be winning the first and the second round. I think Stephen Thompson is going to find the shot to put him out. It doesn't really make much sense to pick that. And I'm saying that clearly so you know. But I think he's going to. I don't think Gabriel Bonfim is that guy. I don't think he's going to be able to impose his grappling as well as some people have against Stephen Thompson. And Stephen is coming off a loss against Joaquin Buckley by knockout. But Gabriel Bonfim, I don't think is as dynamic as Joaquin Buckley on the feet. Or not as dynamic. You can't be more dynamic than Stephen Thompson. He's not as wild or unpredictable as Joaquin Buckley on the feet. He's not going to chin Stephen Thompson. I don't think so, at least. If it's stuck on the feet, I think Stephen wins. If it comes to the grappling, if I'm Stephen, that's all I'm working on. I'm going to trust Stephen Thompson's improved in his grappling. He's going to go in there and stuff some takedowns and beat the fuck out of Gabriel Bonfim. And I'm going to pick it to fucking happen. I don't care. Stephen Thompson's him. He's going to do it. He's going to get the big fight he deserves. I believe in the MMA gods to allow this to happen. Fuck Gabriel Bonfim. He's not that guy. He's pretty good, but he's been shinned before. I'm gonna go Stephen Thompson to win. Next. Doesn't make much sense. But next, Derek Lewis versus Teixeira Teixeira. This one does make sense to me, but I'm picking Derek Lewis. I'm honestly going to pick Derek Lewis to win. Teixeira Teixeira is on his second fight in the UFC. I cannot trust him to win a fight yet against the top-level guy in Derek Lewis. They're shooting him up the rankings very fast, which I don't love. Teixeira Teixeira is coming off a knockout. He is tall as shit. That's nothing new for Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis has fought very tall people before. He's very old, but you don't get the record Derek Lewis has for being anything but extremely powerful on the feet. Derek Lewis has the most knockouts in UFC history. He knows how to knock a motherfucker out. He knows how to throw his big, dumb, fat arms to a tall opponent. He did it against Volkov. He knows how to do it. Teixeira Teixeira, at the end of the day, is a very new heavyweight. He's skinnier than a lot of heavyweights, which is very important to note. He's not going to try to grapple with Derek Lewis, I don't think. He's a striker first and foremost. When it gets to these striking exchanges with Derek, I cannot trust a newbie in the UFC heavyweight division to come in and chin Derek Lewis at this point. Derek has always been exactly who he is, which is a super powerful heavyweight who's also sloppy as shit and is going to lose to the more technical heavyweight. Teixeira Teixeira isn't extremely technical. He was sloppy before he got his finish in his first UFC fight. He doesn't have the tool bag to just demolish Derek Lewis on the feet with low kicks, with high kicks, with teeps. He's not going to do that as much. He's going to keep to his hands, and I think Derek's going to catch him. I think Derek Lewis, even if Teixeira Teixeira is winning the first round, maybe on the feet, the second round, maybe it's slow pace. I predict that. Slow pace first and second round for Teixeira Teixeira. Derek Lewis is going to find his chin, and I don't trust Teixeira Teixeira's chin against Derek Lewis at this point. Because we haven't seen enough of Teixeira Teixeira. We haven't seen enough. And I think Derek's going to put him out cold. It's a difference in experience. Lewis has the most knockouts in UFC history. Teixeira Teixeira has had one fight in UFC history. I think that's enough for me to pick Derek Lewis until Teixeira Teixeira proves me wrong. To beat Derek Lewis, you have to be a really good grappler or really technical. And I don't think Teixeira Teixeira is either of those. So I'm going to go with Derek Lewis to win by knockout in the first or second round. A lot of knockouts on this card. Maybe some dumb picks. Let me know what you think. I will see you soon.